Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
so yeah, and I'll kill the other one. Now let's see if this is going. If it's not going, I'll be hopping, crazy hopping. Let's see. I do a refresh. Yeah, okay, so that thing's going up, update too. Like I'm not in jail or anything.
Okay. It shows you went live.
Yeah,
Okay. You're
delete
live
forever.
now. Yeah. You're good.
Okay,
Good.
we're here.
Yeah. You're here.
Okay, we're live, folks. Just some technical difficulties with Restream. Getting in today's episode, Armageddon. Thank God the chat.
Armageddon it too.
Armageddon too. Yeah, because the second attempt, right? Two's the charm. We're kind of a little freed up with our schedule. We're only on Tuesdays and Fridays now. We're reducing. Welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you here. Let's go. I'm going to play a test for Blake. A test for Blake. Blake, do you know why I named this Armageddon?
Well, it's usually the sign of the end times battle in the battle of Valley of Armageddon. So that would be something to do with Israel and the rest of the world.
Smart. You are a smart cookie. Let's go. The first one, Gaza Aid. Gaza Aid is the number one link, top of the pops.
All right.
And we'll get that. Sue's with us here. I'm so glad to have her. We got a couple of stories breaking out of this region. Now, of course, Blake, as you know, you're a Bible scholar. You've still got your physical copy of the Bible.
Absolutely. Got a couple of them. Different.
Yeah, that's
different
what they
ones.
ask on the on the X platform all the time. They go, "Do you have your Bible still?" And I got a couple too. Okay, here we go. Ezra Levant. What would happen if Israel gave 10 million to Quebec or Alberta to work towards statehood? CTV News. Canada pledges 30 mil in Gaza aid, 10 million for Palestinian Authority so that they can work towards statehood on CTV News. So we got CTV talking about giving big bucks from our government to Palestine with the express view of helping them rebuild, but to create a Palestinian state. This has never been on the books before, but it's starting to become a talking point. Sue, there should be another Gaza right under that one. Right. Gaza UK aid, and then we'll play the clip on that one. And then we'll turn to Blake for his thoughts. So I say, you're just creating, it's like, oh, let's get some bicarbonate soda and let's grab some vinegar and shake them up together and see what the hell happens.
Yeah, we can throw in a few, Methos pills or whatever.
You are asking for trouble. CBC News. We go to Canada's broadcast that defund the CBC. The UK will recognize a Palestinian state in September. Wake me up when September is over. Unless Israel agrees to ceasefire in Gaza and take steps towards long-term peace, British PM says. Is there a clip on that, or is it just a picture of Starmer?
Just a picture.
Okay, leave it alone.
Go to the story.
I don't need it. Okay. We don't need it. We're good enough. We know our stuff. Blake, take it away. What do you think? Is this a recipe for disaster?
Well, are they trying to refund Hamas? I mean, that's literally have been almost completely obliterated, and I think Trump's been able to back Iran off of supporting Hamas, at least financially. He's hit them hard and said no more. Essentially, the only thing that should be going on there is, aid for sure for civilians and people that are truly needing help. But to form a state, I don't think that's going to happen. The two-state solution was as best as they're going to get. And but it just, with the players like Iran in the market there, causing all kinds of havoc, funding chaos. This is just going to add the chaos, because you know how these guys can't manage money. It just goes into the wrong hands every time.
Yeah.
So, and France did the same thing. They announced that they are supporting the formation of the Palestinian state, which just says to me that they have crossed the Rubicon of no return, potentially, from all of their newcomers that they've allowed into their countries as a political bloc vote. So, if you're going to allow that specific group of people to have power now, Well, they're now going to direct foreign policy to where they want it. And that's a concern Canada should have. And I'm
How do
sure
you
America
think-
has over Canada. But I don't see how Trump's going to stand by and allow that to happen.
No, we just moved the embassy. The U.S. embassy has been moved into Jerusalem.
Exactly.
How do you think Israel's going to handle the news? Oh, guess what? They're no longer a terrorist organization. They're a country as legitimate as yours. Allah Akbar! You know, dumpster fire. Holy Pope, it's going to be hell and fury.
Yeah.
I think it's a recipe for disaster. It's kind of biblical. It's kind of biblical to me. I mean, the whole idea of this thing creating, you know, oh, hey, let's create some tension in this part of the world. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I can see how they would do it. They're doing it, as you said, because they've got a voter base that are not supporters of Western civilization.
No,
I'm just going to call it for that. They've been the opposite world of Western civ, and we've allowed now this integration of two cultures between Western civilization and, say, the Islamic world have not historically got along well. And as neighbors, just ask Greece and Turkey, right? They've never got along. The Ottoman Empire. I mean, we're asking for trouble. I think it's Starmer. I think Canada's done the same thing. Macron. I think there's a little side alliances to try and antagonize Trump, quite frankly. Forcing Trump's hand to actually step in harder into the Middle East. These guys want, they're all part of that same group that want ultra war in the Middle East. They never want it to end. I just don't get it. You're just going to fund a dumpster fire to get worse.
Maybe they want that. Here's
exactly
Danny Allen. I don't understand the rush for a Palestinian state. Danny, these things don't happen. They don't, grow out of people's asses. The whole thing is like they've planned, they work together, they talk to one another. It is not coincidence that France, England, Canada, and God knows what other commie outfit is going to put their effort into supporting a Palestinian state. And final guerrilla goes to rush. They've been calling for that for 70 years, but it looks like it's finally going to happen. And it'll be interesting. I mean, if they do, they are just inviting World War III. Fuck it. I can't wait. I'm too excited. World War III is here, and we started it by supporting terrorism. So you're no longer dealing with a Palestinian state. You're dealing with a Palestinian country, not a terrorist group, but an actual country. Bad news on the way. Canada approves of this guy, but Sean Foyke, the Canadian, the American California gospel singer guy's going around. He wants to sing at a Catholic church. Canada sends 11 cops in. The targeted repression of Christians in Canada could not be more clear, and I'm saying this as an agnostic. Brian Lilly, Islamic hate preacher, now on his tour across Canada, the Saudi-based imam, holds fundamentalist views of women, Jews, and homosexuals. Sucks to be gay in Islam. And there he is, Asim al-Hakim, an imam based in Saudi Arabia, holds fundamentalist views of women, Jews, and homosexuals, is currently on a speaking tour across Canada. Blake, excited about that. And of course, we compare and contrast with the Christian American gospel singer, minister comes in. And of course, the whole hassle, you need a permit to worship in a church. And of course, this goes on across Canada. You and I are, I don't know if you're going anywhere right now. I'm a former church goer. And as a former church goer, I can tell you that within the format of any standard Sunday service, we had worshiping, music. Remember, we had one guy, he looked like Captain Pike. He was in a little box, and he just, and he would.
Hi, Brady. Hi, Brady.
We love Brady, but it's just crazy. So, Armageddon. Another way of saying nothing left to lose. It's all over now, baby blue. So, Blake, the compare contrast, Sean Foyke. There's all sorts of trouble going on with that.
Well, I think we're seeing that full swing in Canada. That the fact that we've just proven that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in the Constitution Act of 1982 of Canada is not worth the paper it's printed on. It is crap, and Canadians need to wake the hell up and realize you don't have a country. You have a legislated group of laws that were created by Britain and by corporate interests like the Hudson's Bay Company that give you your country today. That charter is just an act, which means they can revoke it at their choosing.
Yes, they can.
And they're doing it, and they don't care. That's the thing, because you know why they don't care? Because they have unlimited resources to take you to court and drown you out financially. And they know that's the power they have. Say, yeah, go ahead and sue us.
Is that the link you got for the guy that horrific thing about the street preacher that's in trouble up here in Canada? Grab that link, or do you want to do this one, Sue? What do you got for me? Okay, we'll do this. I'll let Sue read it, and Sue, just take over a bit why you wanted this one to go.
Well, it's just because it relates to the topic at hand. Question: why do Christians need a permit to worship in a church in Canada? But a mass mob does not need a permit to trespass on a church, set off smoke bombs, and call for the end of Western civilization. Okay, this is in Montreal. These protests have been going on for, I don't know, a year. More.
It's been going for a while.
Well, they're praying in the streets too. They're holding worship, their Islamic worship times in the middle of the street.
The roads in Toronto and Montreal.
No permits, no arrests. Nothing. But what's interesting about that whole thing, when Sean was playing that church, any other attack, had that been an Islamic mosque and somebody threw a smoke bomb in there, that would have been heralded as a racist, white supremacist, hate crime, and vilified by the mainstream media against the mainstream people. That's the difference. They're going after the mainstream people. That's the target here, folks. You, the individual who are a Canadian citizen, they're going after you. And I think that's the problem. But had this been, I mean, let's face it, that smoke bomb that got tossed in there by what appears to be a newcomer, but regardless, it got thrown in there. That could have easily been an IED. That could have been a bomb, pipe bomb, and that could have been any of that. And nobody's done anything to charge.
Look at you're all fired up. Now listen, settle the hell down. Listen, I got something for you. They released a photo. It's a white guy. He's a heavy-set Antifa mother. Okay, he's got suspenders and he's got a little white shirt. He looks a bit like Humpty Dumpty. But anyway,
he's an Antifa guy.
Yeah, he's just an Antifa retard. Okay, Blake, but listen more on the absolute state of things. That dumpster fire you got going today, absolutely beautiful behind you. What could be a more a fitting proverb for Canada, China, than what you got right here? Boom, this will just absolutely curdle your tomatoes. Insane, a Canadian street pastor is forced to break down traditional thoughts about the LGBTQ2S+ community, say that 3 times fast, as part of his court-mandated case plan. Since when is having a traditional viewpoint something the government needs to correct? This is state-enforced ideology case plan goal. See the highlighted with the highlighter there. Point A. Subject struggles with seeing other viewpoints, period. Working with him in terms of breaking down traditional thoughts pertaining to the LGBT. Why don't you just fuck him up the ass and get him so fucking gayed up that he's just coming all over Vancouver to your heart's content, you fucking perverted motherfucking bastards. Blake, take it away. What do you think about this court-mandated homo buggery? I think it's wrong.
So this is all this is a Canadian re-education camp. Is exactly what this is.
Jordan Peterson left because they said they had to re-educate him.
That's why Jordan Peterson's an American living in Arizona now.
That's what the Marxists do. The Chinese Marxists, the Russian Marxists at the time, they all had their re-education camps. If you don't obey, then you go to Siberia, and then from there, the worst possible, and I think, we have people in the Christian community that have a history, like Watchman Nee. Was he not a political prisoner because of his? Exactly. He was a preacher. He preached the gospel and ended up going to jail for it and converting many of those people into prisons. So
in communist China. And so he got arrested around 1951, 52. I think 1951. And then he was in jail for the last 20 years of his life. And I think he died in prison in China. So horrific stuff. But this is the whole thing. This is our reality that we're living in today. Now, some girl, here's another story about, Canada rights and freedom of speech and all this sort of thing. It's totally going down the river. It's down the river without a hope. A female by the name of Lougheed, a very storied Canadian name out of Alberta, Lougheed.
Premier Lougheed.
Yeah, my lovely wife, Sue, is actually married. One of the Lougheeds married into your family kind of thing. But anyway, here's the deal, kids. With this poor girl, well, I shouldn't say poor girl. She's a antagonizer. She out of Chilliwack. But she said mean things online. Like it had something to do with a wood chipper.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. I leave it to you, a wood chipper. And so she's in trouble for her bad words. And my feeling is sticks and stones can break my bones. Names will never hurt me. That's why I give zero fucks about trolls. You're a tranny. What do I fucking care? Man, that's good. Keep it up. Keep up the good fight. Because I don't care. Sticks and stones. Yeah. What I don't want is you to shoot me dead. Okay? I don't want to be stomped into the ground. Blake, we got so many great stories today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So we got, oh my God, there's so much going on. Okay, let's do this one. This is one we like to talk about on this program. This is titled Rape is Bad. A lot of people don't know that.
Really?
Some of our newcomers, Rape is Bad, okay? It's called Rape is Bad. It's right under under the Pierre Poilievre.
Oh, I've seen it. This is...
What do you got, baby? Okay, this is good. I like this. This is an oldie but a goodie, but it's so important to be aware of what's going on in our world. And then I got another rapey one below it. Finland has launched this campaign, and they did this a while back, aimed at educating migrants not to rape the young Finnish girls. Play it, make it big, and play the whole thing. And let's really learn together. Okay, this will stop the rapiness. Here we go.
Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no swear. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no swear.
Progressives are the most Looney Tunes people on earth.
Don't touch me there. This is
it's unfortunate.
Don't you think that all that hip wiggling is a bit enticing?
I got a little sexed up just watching that one. Full disclosure. Okay, we got another one.
That's gonna stop all these rapists from. For sure. You're so threatening in your black vest.
Right underneath that.
If they want to be intimidating, at least dress something, wear a black mask or something. For crying out loud. That was ridiculous.
Oh, all right. So we got now. Okay, so that's how Finland's handling the rape crisis. Let's see. Let's see how Germany's getting.
Should be laughing. We should be crying, actually.
You're so right.
I cried yesterday, Blake.
Okay, so this is how they teach you to defend yourself from a knife in Germany. Remember, there's a lot of knife attacks. England could use this. Here we go. Okay, go Deutschland.
Let's go.
Okay, play it. Let it roll. Good Lord.
Und ich schlage zum Kopf. Ich treffe den Kopf und die Augen.
Okay.
I think I used to do that with my sister.
All right.
When we have our towel fights.
Den Kopf und die Augen.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Didn't John Cleese do a whole episode on how to defend yourself from a banana? Monty Python.
I think there was a banana defense, and it's thinly disguised as a rapey kind of thing. But it's just absolutely ludicrous. Obviously, neither of these strategies of the hope, that is not going to do nothing. And then the other thing with the towel, holy crap, all the aggression of a wet noodle. The knife is is that how your knifing attack?
Well, yeah, and you know how us gals like to walk around with a towel.
Yeah, don't forget to bring a towel. All
That's
right,
right.
we got
Because but you know what's horrible about this? It's
Yeah.
normalizing that behavior.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
normalizing and saying you
Yeah.
need to tolerate it. Not
Yeah.
like America where they say, well, we've got we've got the Second Amendment that actually allows you to defend yourself with a firearm if necessary. So I think you've got the ability, totally two different worlds, but that you shouldn't tolerate. Any attacker is fair game in my books. I mean, that's basically it. But they've just said, no, you need to tolerate it. And this is how you fight it, with a towel or do a stupid little wiggle dance. I mean,
Yeah.
it's absolutely shows the insanity of the progressive world that's enveloped our cultures now for at least 10 years. I think they've really stepped it up over the last decade, and they've just gotten worse and worse and worse as they've gone by, because they try to make ways to become more stupid. I think that's basically what they say. Let's see how far we can take this. Clearly, the people watching this stuff are that dumb. Let's see how stupid more we can make them and dumb it down so that they'll be tolerant of being attacked and physically raped and murdered in the streets.
All right. Now, because we're all sexed up, let's not stop the train. Let's keep the train, let the train keep on rolling. Great Johnny Burnett song. Here we go. And of course, Aerosmith covered it. Due to the angry liberal women losing their minds over this, or do they realize half of the ads in the 80s and 90s look just like this one? Overt heterosexuality was still allowed back then. Can you play the clip? I'd love this. This is Sydney Sweeney. She's taken the nation by storm. Have we got sound on the lovely girl? There we go. Look at her go.
Sydney Sweeney has her canes.
All right. I love that. That's Sydney Sweeney. Can we do Jeans again? There's another one, Jeans again, following that one. And this is so, I mean, this girl has gone viral. Now, Blake, do you know why the young lady's gone viral?
Well, let's just say the world is reacting back to normality. I mean, the fact is men are attracted to women, and
Yes.
on the vast majority, and that's what they want. And the fact is that there could be another message in there, and I might be thinking too deep into this, but hey, we are in a dying cultures. I mean, literally, we're aging out. It's time to go have some babies. So maybe they're going to try and get the soy boys to.
Well, that's a good way to start making babies. Just so
Yeah.
get a lot of guys going. Okay, we got more news on this. You don't hate the media enough. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows an unbridled cultural shift towards, quote, whiteness. Advertisements are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Startling, yes. Ugly, definitely no. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. I agree. Holy smokes. It's making me want to go out and buy American Eagle right now. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Okay, let's keep Sydney going. So we got some more Sydneys. So I've got even more links to her. Oh, there's one simply called Sydney Sweeney. This is one, Sydney Sweeney. So here's the thing. You know what the problem is? Like, the left are all nuts because they think it's like what the MBSBC is, that they're going, oh, it's all about white people. The white people are all pretty and great looking and whatnot. Now, full disclosure, I'm a kind of a mixed breed Indian type. And so therefore, Blake's our white representative. Okay. I'm representing the colors. Okay, here we go. This is, what do we got here? Sydney Sweeney, play the clip. Apparently, America's supposed to be mad. They're now seeing more Sydney Sweeney. That's exactly. What am I supposed to be upset about? Let's see what's going. Can we play Sydney? Look at her go. Hi, Sydney. It's Blake and Reach. Sydney. I love ice cream too, Sydney. She's fun. Wow. What great genes. Holy smokes. You love Sydney the way I do, Blake, because by gum, she's quite a looker.
Yeah, if I was 25 and single, that would be, that would be pretty exciting.
You'd be good to go.
Be good to go.
Holy smokes. I think I got one called Better Jeans. Yeah, this is Better
It's the
Jeans or
same as
Cat
the other
Turd.
one?
No,
Okay.
this is different because
Okay.
Cat Turd comes out. So what has been the impact of Sydney Sweeney on the markets? Well, we're going to find out. Cat Turd did the heavy lifting for us. We love Cat Turd on this channel. And good news if you're American Eagle. Oh, we're going to play it too. Breaking American Eagle stock has surged over 24% since she started doing her gene ads. It's added 400 million to their market cap. Congratulations. Absolute backfire for the left as little Sydney goes about great genes. Absolutely great genes. So I love this. This is why America is leading all markets, all what do you call that? All markets. Wow, I felt stirrings for the first time in 15 years. 4D. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I guess Maha has a different meaning now. Make America happy again.
Holy, I gotta tell you,
Make America hot again.
that is
Hot
crazy.
again. Yeah, there you go.
So they're freaked out. Let's go to Whiteville, Sue. I got one called Whiteville. So this is just the left is just freaking out. Now, this next article, this next item, I'll remove this one for you, Susie.
Thanks.
This next story comes out of by way of Arkansas.
Oh,
It's
Kansas.
Arkansas. It's Arkansas, you sons of bitches. But we got good news out of Arkansas. Arkansas is leading the way. Now, full disclosure again, I'm a mixed breed. I'm quarter Native American Indian. That's why I got a cowboy hat, like an Indian type. I should have feather in it. But anyway, and then Blake, of course, you're representing our little white guy. And by gum, what a story. I wouldn't be allowed to move here, but Blake, I believe you would be, and it doesn't bother me in the least. I think there's a fantastic idea whose time has come. Okay, let's go big with this. Okay, white only town. Okay, so that's the premise. You got to be a Caucasian. I think this is perfectly reasonable. Choose any other ethnicity, and I'll show you where they segregate and discriminate. Yeah, like they have the blacks only college program. They have a graduation. You got to black. Everybody else, white people take a step back. This is, we're not feeling safe. Actually, we prefer our own fountain. We don't want you whiteys drinking from it. If you could be so good. And also, just make your way towards the back of the bus.
Wasn't there like a black only theater?
Yeah, there's black only movie nights.
That was in Vancouver.
That was in Vancouver. Black night. Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think the college fund was the United Negro College Fund. I think they call
that is fantastic. We don't like the word Negro around here. Hold on, Blake. That's a little heated. Very divisive word.
That's what.
Blake,
but that's the name of the fund. That's the name of the fund.
Blake, that is a horrible name, and I'm sure that there are some beautiful black people saying no to it. Now, hold on, Sue. I wanted to play the clip.
Oh, sorry.
Because I want to see how the whites are getting on. I'm convinced the crime will probably be very low there. We already have White Town, if you think about it. Like all them, what do they call those kids out there with their buggies and their horses?
Amish.
The Amish, the Amish.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of black people out there with the Amish or the Chinese. Hey, what are you doing there, cowboy? I'm Amish from Hong Kong. You just don't see it. So it's practically Whiteville. Here's the clip. Sue's going to play it for our collective edification. Let's see what's going on in Whiteville.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture
effectively like some
was
setup with
this
the government.
Is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time.
It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this...
Let's go San Francisco!
Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors.
Ew.
That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
All right, Whiteyville. Blake, interested in signing on to Whiteyville? Do you think you would like to live in Whiteville?
I don't know. It looks more like a one of those fundamentalist Mormon groups. It's like,
Exactly.
here, marry your cousin who's
Yeah.
only 10, right?
That's
I mean,
This is where this kind of thing leads to. But
yeah,
you know,
no thanks. I'll take a far step away. But it seems like a setup to me. I don't know that it's just like these guys focus in on the most minutia of stupidity because they're trying to, again, broad paintbrush that all whites are evil and racist. And I think this is all part of this media campaign to wherever they can just dig up some crazy white supremacist in the middle of nowhere, and give them any kind of credibility is just ridiculous. The fact that this is just not the normal. Even in the mainstream normies, those of us that live in the real world that understand that the insanity of the progressive world is what the real problem is. And these guys want to deflect on some stupid story to take the attention off the reality of what's really going on around us. Because most of us of all different colors who are normal understand that we have a cultural problem. We don't have a problem with race. That's the difference, right? So that if anything, but the fact is, I mean, this is just classic media stirring the pot on a story that should have been nowhere from the beginning. It's a small group of 40, they said it, 40 people. Whoop-de-doo. Like, David Koresh had more people. And look what happened to him. They stirred up enough stuff there to go and turn into a bloodbath.
I think, but the idea, I can understand I understand the sentiment. Like with rising crime, Trump was just an amazing. Can you grab the Trump clip? Just go Trump Sadiq, or go Trump Khan. Trump talking about Sadiq Khan. Funny as hell with Starmer. So just Trump Starmer Khan, and it should give you the clip.
Well, I've got Trump's talks. You mean not your? I've got your thing.
No, I don't think it's mine. I think I don't have the actual clip of the interview or the thing. Or do I? Do I have that? Do I have that clip? Okay, well, that's a good one. But I like this from 40. Contrast with Canada Park rule of Native Americans only, other side of the coin. And we do have that, like the reservation, and you have to be married or connected in some way to be on the res and receive government funding for it. You can't just walk on there and go, howdy, I'm just going to make myself at home here, Indians.
4D's talking about some of our provincial parks here in Canada.
Oh, yeah, and then
are
the
being
parks
being blocked so that the indigenous can connect with the land for a number of days at a time, where no white people, like no other citizens, are allowed. These are public parks that we pay for with our tax dollar, so this should not be allowed. So
we got a question for Blake. That's a very good point. Well put. Blake, can you go to your nearest gated community? Blake, I think Blake lives in something like a gated community.
No, I don't.
Blake, you do, son of a bitch.
I live behind the gates, so behind enemy lines in progressive hell.
Poor Blake. I love Blake. If they let you in, take a poll. How many white people are in there? And then tell me this is acceptable in this society.
Well, I would argue that the people that are behind a gated community are more fearful of crime and than they are of people's skin color. Because if you go into those gated communities now, you'll find Asian people of Asian descent there. You'll find even wealthy black people or well-to-do black people. I can tell you right now, Oprah Winfrey, do you think she lives in in a wide open street side, no gate to access her property? I doubt it. So this isn't about race. This is about people who want to live in an area who don't want the street crime to enter their property. It's not about race.
No, and I think that's what the thing. But unfortunately, there is correlation. I saw another thing out on X. Some guy goes, they were talking about a British television show, and the guy's arguing with this girl, and he goes, "Look, let's face facts. The thing is, it's the newcomers are more overrepresented, Islam, and he mentions certain populations." And he goes, though they are overrepresented with assault and all this kind of thing, crime, right?
Yeah.
And so this guy underneath goes, Gruck, is what this guy is saying up here, saying that crime is more representative of these people rather than the indigenous British population? Is it in fact higher? And then Gruck goes, yeah, and it starts going out with all the stats. It was a thing of beauty. I don't really want to ignite the flame, the wars of race and ethnicity. I think that the powers that be would love us divided on these issues. Mm-hmm. I think everybody knows people. For the love of God, I'm not even white. I'm a half-breed kind of thing.
Well, Mona, you're bang on that, and I think people need to realize that these divisions are being stirred, purposely for political gain or to distract.
And nobody more than Sadiq Khan, who's a nasty person. Let's take a look at this. This is comedy gold. Trump, I'm not a fan of your mayor, Sadiq. A nasty person. He's done a terrible job, the mayor of London. Starry's actually a friend of mine. Trump, I think he's done a terrible job. So awkward and yet so right and hilarious. Let's play.
Fan of your mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. The mayor of London, but the nasty person. I think he's done it. I think he's a friend of mine, right? No, I think he's done a terrible job. But I would certainly visit London. Yeah. Fan of your mayor.
Okay. Now, if you scroll down, kill the clip and scroll down. I think I did an answer to it.
The nasty.
I think I'm under there somewhere. Anyway, I got back because I look like a hell of an asshole. I think that's one. You're looking at London. But
you went, this is beautiful.
I went, no, you know what I did on that one? Because Khan comes out and then he rebuts this. Trump's Islamophobic. He's a racist, the usual garbage. And then I go, Trump is right. Khan less so. And then just on that same day, there was a quadruple stabbing in London when 2 people were murdered in Khan's London. He's a nasty person. Trump was 100% correct. And of course, Khan had the big balloon of baby Trump floating around there when Trump was going to visit last time. There was a protest. Khan was part of it. And so he's nasty, and Trump's 100% right. Yeah. And crime is rampant in London. It's a shithole, and everybody knows that there's no getting around that. So I thought that was just excellent. And then Starmer had to sit there. The other thing people were commenting on, Blake, was the whole optics around the Trump visit. First of all, he meets with Leitoinen for the EU leader, and he's at his place in Scotland there, and that's where she is. She's in his place. He's hosting her. Then he gets Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England. They don't go to 10 Downing for their meeting. Trump puts them on board Marine One. They're flying the little helicopter,
the big Ospreys.
They land by Trump's mansion in Scotland. The Marines there, U.S. Marine is there to salute as Trump and Starmer come off the helicopter. Trump marches them into his mansion, has a little sit down, and proceeds to host Keir Starmer. Tell me who's holding the power there. Is it Starmer or is it Trump? I think Trump. And speaking of Trump, he walked away with just an absolutely amazing trade deal. The left in Europe are freaking out. Every leftist account, this is horrible. Where's buggery? If we were
Yeah, they're saying that
Oh,
Trump
my
is
God.
doing extortion on Europe. I'm like, oh, give it a rest.
Yeah, I
Talk
mean,
about extortion. A bureaucracy like the size of the EU is the
He-
big extortion ring.
he kicked their asses. Now,
Yep.
what he got up for?
Well,
us-
what he did, what's really good, and hopefully we can touch upon this, but this directly relates to Canada's trade agreements
Well,
because
we're doing. Not only are we touching on, I want you to take the ball,
yeah,
throw it down the field, catch it, and run it in for take your
Yeah.
6 points. I'll come in and I'll try and throw one through for the conversion. So this directly reflects on Canada because we're screwed. We got 2 days. There ain't gonna be a deal. Europe's got the deal. This is massive. That European deal is massive. Money in the U.S. It's a win-win-win for Trump. Go ahead.
Well, and really, it's a win-win for Europe too, for at least European citizens, right? He's not trying to screw the people on the ground. He's trying to break this globalist ring of WEF people that have been trying to control the monopoly side of our global trade, and he's busting them hard. He's breaking them up because they're gonna have no choice but to play ball and play fair. And I think the problem Canada has, and this is Carney because he's all buddy with the EU, but he's also two sides to this. As I said, he's buddy into the US as well, but he's been trying to play buddy with China, and he's trying to play all sides. And I think Trump's got his number now, and he knew Carney's his guy because Carney's the asset manager guy. He's the leader of the BlackRocks, the spokesman, let's just say, because of Brookside trillion-dollar, massive multi-trillion-dollar companies that hold huge investments in companies and can create more investment into new companies. And Trump wants to see that money come into the U.S. Well, the fact that Mark Carney has 93% of his own personal assets investments in the United States. 0.3% of his overall investments are in Canada, which shows, okay, where's his real loyalties here? Because his investment portfolio doesn't show it. But what's happening is the walls are closing in on Canada. And I'm thinking, Carney, I think he's playing it. I think he's part of it because then he can turn to Canada and say, well, we have no choice. We got to get rid of the supply management stuff. It's not going to be on the table anymore. It's got to disappear. Otherwise, we're going to be locked out because this is what Trump is doing. Canada is being locked out of all of its alternative areas, right? They're no longer, they're all elbows up. We'll just create trade agreements direct with Europe. We'll trade agreements direct with Mexico, and we'll do direct trade agreements with China and Indonesia and all these other countries around the world. Well, guess what? They're all lining up doing trade agreements and completing them, including Japan and most of Asia. All the places our little elbows up crowd ran around to, including David Eby, our premier, trying to sell British Columbia potato chips in Japan, thinking that's really going to increase our GDP. But the point is that wall is closing all those access points because Trump said this, and it was directed at Canada. Not just it, and also China at the time, because China and Canada are still the kind of holdouts. But apparently, there is a deal pending with China anytime now. Once that deal is done, Canada, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, no, there's no other way about it. You have nowhere to run because Trump said if you try to backdoor your trade through those countries that have trade deals with us, we are going to tariff the crap out of it and tariff that product that came from Canada into Europe, then into the U.S., or into Mexico, then into the U.S. He's blocking the backdoor deal.
Canada's going to get buggered through the backdoor deal. And that's in keeping with our re-education to make us LGBTQ plus friendly.
Well, I think the funny thing is, I don't think Trump wants to hurt Canadians personally. This is the Laurentian elite he's busting up who campaigned against the whole MAGA movement with Trudeau at the helm, with the WF out of Europe, with the Chinese foreign nationals that are involved in foreign influence. These guys are a cartel that have been working to break the American spirit. They used Biden, they used Obama and Clinton. They were all part of that sort of new world order that was being created, a new financial order that would be run through them, and Trump's busting it up. It's smashed, and that means Carney's got to be the guy to go to Canadians and say, well, it looks like we're going to have to open up dairy. We're going to have to open up our banking industry. We're going to have to open up our cellular phone networks and mobility and internet. And guess what, Canada? You're going to get cheaper products. That's the point. Canada, Trump's your guy, because Trump's going to help make things more affordable in Canada again. And that's the key. But that wall of the Laurentian elite that they thought they could backdoor all of these deals and wait this out. They're sitting on the U.S., Mexico, Canada agreement, the existing one, that's coming to a conclusion. Yeah, sure, Trump signed it back in his first term, but that's coming to an end. There's nothing going to be left. And, we've got EB here running around telling Americans, like, bring your wind energy windmills to BC because Trump doesn't want them, because they don't work. They're a waste. So fantastic stuff, news going on here. I think it'll be interesting how Canada reacts at the end of this month.
I think it's really interesting because for those of us that are kind of in the 51st state camp, this is, if everybody else is getting deals with Trump and Canada's this little island all by itself, surrounded by Alaska, Greenland, which is soon to be American property, you watch. And then, of course, the contiguous United States to our southern border, Canada can't survive on its own that way, absolutely isolated with this power that is the United States. And, of course, we've all seen that thing. Let me see if I can bring it up. This is this little memes. Yeah, let's go memes. This is a great graphic here. Okay, let's open it up in Paint, I guess. Okay, I just got this little graphic here for you to look at. I guess I used another program. I just brought it up in Paint. But anyway, it'll tell you all you need to know. This thing here, share it, boom. Okay, and then we go here, make it big. So Canada and the U.S. states economies scaled to size. There's us. And look at this. And you don't need the numbers. Just suffice to know, this is the size of our GDP compared with Washington, Oregon, California, Texas, New York. It's just we're obliterated. We can't compete. Illinois there, not too bad, actually. I'm pretty good with my American states. It's like a grade 2 thing in America. You're 7. You got to name all the 50 states kind of thing. Anyway, so Canada's GDP, we're not really in any position. Some idiot was saying, I think it was Ford again, we're going to hit them tariff for tariff. But when you look at our minuscule little GDP versus that, monolith to the south, you don't have a hope in hell. And so to me, it's like you're getting financially, you're in the wine press, man.
Yep.
And you're getting squeezed. Something's got to give. And
$25 trillion economy versus a $2 trillion economy. Who's going to win that battle?
That's my point. Exactly.
Yeah. You don't, and I think Canada, all you have to do is stop cheating. And that's the problem. Canada's like, no, we're not cheating. No, but you've sat there, and I know as a Canadian, I've listened to you assholes sitting around coffee shops, bashing America, bashing this. And what do you get on the other end when you go to the US? Oh, we love Canada. People in Canada are great. You guys are the worst hypocrites that walk the planet. You elbows up pieces of crap are the worst people. You're fake. You wander around thinking you're so great, you helping people, but you're not helping anybody. You're hurting people. Everything you've done to our country, you've heard it. You condemn Americans all the time. You've done it my entire life. I'm 56 years old, and you've walked around, parading around thinking how much greater we are as people. I'm sorry. I've been all around lots of U.S. places, and they're salt of the earth people. And if I was to trade between small town America and big city Canada, I'd go small town America because those people are great. And, a lot of big city Americans too. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm saying those rural communities versus rural communities, we're very much alike. But when you get into the big cities, you got these morons running around bashing America. They've been doing it for decades, and now they have power here, and now they have a reckoning. And that's the fact that you guys can whine, but you know what? We're not willing to be your sacrificial lambs just to hold on to power. You guys got to go. You're finished. You're progressives running Canada. You have been served notice.
James Farley with a very concerning post. Sue, I've been banned for 3 live streams. Richard, the music maniac, Beetle Babe, the lovely Jen, and Springhell Chubb. My God, James Farley. Holy smokes. Vinyl Gorilla Records, nice, quote, has taken over Logic. Yeah, well, you got to stand for something. If you don't, you'll fall for anything, the old adage. For myself, Blake, I love your picture of small town America. Me, I just try to get into Whiteyville. But anyway, it's just fantastic what's happening. We're seeing all this going on. So we got any other stories that you've been following?
Well, sure. Okay,
all right. Sco's got a few that I know she brought to the dumpster fire. Well, while you're doing that, I got one fired up, ready to go. I threw this up today. I borrowed this graphic from one of the other guys out there. Clyde Do Something goes, I have Canada fatigue. I go, we all do. And then it's Canada, like Blake's idea, the dumpster fire that is Canada. And I thought that is funny. So I love the graphic. I just kind of stole it from one of the kids out there in TV land over on the X.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, Sue, take it away. Tell us the story. Okay. Blake, Sue's going to do Dan Bongino. Tell us this, Sue.
I'll just read it out for you.
Yeah, read.
We'll read together because it's a lovely story of maybe accountability coming.
Okay, well, let's see what happens.
And hopefulness and, just holding the line.
Hope is a good thing.
During my tenure here as the deputy director of the FBI, I've repeatedly relayed to you that things are happening that might not be immediately visible. They are happening. The director and I are committed to stamping out public corruption and the political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It is a priority for us. But what I've learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me to my core. We cannot run a public like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. We're going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. We're going to get the answers we all deserve.
Caps.
Yeah, as with any investigation, I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at truth, not my truth. And this is really important for everybody, not my truth or your truth, but the truth.
Yeah.
God bless America. And I love this line, and all who defend her, respectfully, Dan.
Beautiful. So, love it.
He is really good at keeping people, just holding the line, being patient, letting people know they're still working hard behind the scenes to solve a lot of their problems. So love that.
Well, it takes time to investigate, and this swamp has been building up for decades. So this isn't something that would be a magic pill in 2 months that would all disappear. These guys are entrenched, and they have to take time to investigate it all and get those rats moved out. And that's the problem. It takes a long time to dig these people out. We saw World War I, what trench warfare is like. That's exactly what it's like even within this bureaucracy. These people are trenched in, and you got to go trench by trench by trench, moving them out. And that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I think, with this, you get one shot at it. You lay the charges down. They got to stick, and they got to go all the way from charging them to getting a conviction on those charges and then getting a sentencing following that's equitable to the severity of the crime committed. We want to see all that done. We're talking treason. The crimes that we're talking about ultimately are treason. Now, when Scavino, or not Scavino, I love him, Bongino says, they're both Dan's, Dan Bongino says, what I saw shook me to my core. Can you even fathom?
No.
This guy is a former FBI guy. He's a former Secret Service guy. So if he's shaken to his core by what he's seen, this reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when Seinfeld's car gets taken and they're in there to the mechanic. It's not the cops there. It's not pretty. I don't know if you want to go in there. And he goes, I gotta see what happened to my car. They open the hood up, and the detective's there, and then the little rookie constable's there, looks in at the car, turns over. It shook him to his core. So, I mean, what do you think he's alluding to when he says "shaken to my core"? What do you think? Crimes against humanity?
Oh, I think he's been seeing the children abused on being used on the border, brought in by illegal immigration, and those children are being abused in sex trafficking. That would probably be one of the more horrendous things that you would witness, that kind of evidence. And a lot of them are killed, right? Once they've served their purposes, because they don't want anybody who can ID anybody. And the horrors. I think there was a movie made about that with Jim Caviezel and recently Mel Gibson, I think, did that movie. And
the human trafficking thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, anybody in law enforcement, you see that, and I think even more frustrating that this has been buried by the media and almost purposely being misdirected from the eyes of the public to being put on it. And I can't imagine seeing that. And he's going to see that kind of stuff. And then I'm sure the disgust of the corruption that you're coming across. Like, these are people that are holding office, so you're supposed to be holding with a badge of honor. This is a public service. You're supposed to be holding a position of respect and integrity, the highest integrity, and all these corrupt people around him must be just sickening, right? I mean,
well, we know the CIA's corrupt. We had John Brennan's on the, he's on the hit list. We got James Clapper, he's another one. James Comey, FBI, McCabe, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, the whole thing, Nellie Orr, all of these crazy characters. There's so many to name. It just goes on and on. Rachel and Blake, thanks for the info today. I got to go. Well, you know what? We've hit that 101 mark on the show. Blake, anything else you'd like to cover? I got another show today on my Patreon, which is kind of how I like to work it. I'm a busy person on Tuesdays and Fridays, but I'm willing to go longer if you have something that's, a burning issue for yourself. I want you to leave going, that was good. I got all that off my chest. Because this show is really good for that, for us. Go ahead.
Well, I think for me, I think I hit it. It was just going after Carney, causing Canada thought they could play footsies with the rest of the world around America, and they are now in the nest with one-on-one with Trump now, and that's where we're at as Canada. And I just want to make things clear. I still love Canada. Canada's still my country, but it's the Canada that I believed in before. And as the old adage of the, politicians would say, I didn't leave the party left me. Well, in this case, it's true. Canada has left me within its powerhouse, not the people. There's plenty of people that are with us and are would love to see Canada to the Don Cherry era, return back to respect and integrity and caring about individual freedoms and liberties, and would love to see our country be repatriated. And if it means that we come in some kind of union with the U.S., I'm for that too. It doesn't matter to me, as long as we get to that side where people can dream again and then work towards those dreams and earn those dreams. And that's the difference. We don't feel we can earn those in Canada anymore. But Friday should be a bombshell of a show, because it is D-Day on the trade with the U.S. Day. So we will see what's happened over the next couple days to see if Carney is going to keep flexing or is he going to break. That's going to be an interesting show. I mean, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Blake. And, we both believe that with God, all things are possible. Therefore, with God, Canada can be saved. But the path it's on right now is not looking good. It looks more like Canada has rejected the Lord. The Lord has rejected Canada. And our kingdom has been found wanting. And I've sold it literally to the Medes and Persians. And if you know who the Medes and the Persians are, it all kind of makes sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on Friday. Blake and I will be there. followers of my music channel, I'm going to be going 4 o'clock today live, and I'll do another show there. And that's my Patreon show. I do have a Patreon. You can join that for 5 Jam or James Farley if you want to join Patreon. Again, $5 a month, and it helps support all my efforts. And you're welcome to join. All right, everybody, that's going to do it from me and Blake for now. We'll see you Friday. Put a thumbs up on the show, share the video, and subscribe if you're not. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.